intro time we can't hear. I hope y'all enjoy the music. So you can hear us. We can talk to it. Morning. You thank you for joining us.
Good morning, People's Rebuttal Podcast. Good morning, everyone.
How you doing this morning?
Oh man, I'm doing, man. You know,
Vaughn's on his way, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, so all the Vaughn
we got his chair
the
going.
Vaughn solo fans. Wait a minute, someone's missing.
Han Solo?
Where's the stand-in?
Han Solo's over there in the chair.
Oh, there's Hans.
Just buried.
Good morning,
buried.
Hans. People's Rebuttal. Good morning, all.
Morning.
We back in here.
What you been up to?
Man, just living, man. Working hard, playing harder. Been doing some traveling. That's been great.
Man, your son works for an airlines now, so now you just...
Oh, man. It's amazing. And I'm so grateful.
Nicole, you know, they went out of town. They went up Pagosa Springs.
I didn't know. What's up with that?
She knows somebody who owns a house there that basically let them stay at the house for free. So it's like get there, rent a car. So she was coming back, and her flight got canceled. It's a little tiny airport, so there are no more flights. Even the next day, there were no more flights.
Really?
Yeah. So she drove back.
Municipal?
I don't know. I'm gonna get my pilot's license. I'm gonna fix all this.
I'm gonna be a part of the co-op. I'll buy in, and I'll get my.
Let me mess around. I mean, no joke.
I'm so serious.
But you gotta get your pilot's license.
I'm so interested in.
So that's the question: are you gonna get your pilot's license, or you just want part of the plane and I fly it?
No, I want the whole gamut. I want to get my license, and I want to fly it, and I want to skydive out of it. So while you fly, if we get that kind.
But we'll have to research whether you can jump out of a single engine plane or not. There may be rules to that.
Okay.
But it's an easy research.
Yeah. But yeah, jumping out of a plane, that's definitely on my bucket list. And
I'm not jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
That's okay.
I'm not doing it.
I am.
I'm going to learn to do it in case I got to jump out because something went wrong with the airplane. And for all you people, don't worry, I'll crash it into a lake or an ocean or something. So
no doubt.
Obviously, if you're a boater, you're screwed because that's where I'm crashing. Yeah. But yeah, that's the only time I'd ever jump out of an airplane is if something went wrong with the airplane.
So tell me this: are you familiar with iFly, the indoor skydiving?
Yeah, but in order to jump out of a plane by yourself, you have to do X amount of training. You have to tandem jump
8 times.
Is that the tandem jump?
It's 8 times tandem.
You have to jump 8 times tandem jump, and then you have to do the other stuff, and then you can jump out of a plane by yourself. But
so interesting. So I did iFly. Oh, I had a great time too. But I learned that I have credentials doing iFly towards hours of jumping. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Say that again?
So because I did iFly, it's considered tutorial.
Is it just me or do we hear beeping?
I did hear beeping.
I think that's Vaughn at the door. You should knock if you can't come in.
Oh, I thought you was about to say the code to the club.
I ain't saying no code to my ring.
On point.
Is you crazy?
Yeah. So, you know. Good morning, all again. To all our new joiners.
Might be the AC unit going off.
Hey, yo. So I wore these colors for you today.
Yeah.
The
Bears.
The Bears.
I need that shirt.
You like this? My wife says I look amazing in orange. So I wore it for both of y'all today.
Oh, it's the cigar humidor.
Oh.
It's having issues.
Oh, I thought we were smoking on the show today.
No, I do need to get the air filter for in here.
Yeah.
And don't worry, David, we are going to talk about what you texted me about, but I want to have Mr. Vaughn on with us.
Oh, David, thanks for the big up and the topic. I'm with that. I love our audience participation. So with
There
that
too.
being said, please, anyone have a topic, a subject, anything you like for us to talk about and discuss, please don't hesitate to share it.
Well, and if you know us, text us. If you don't know us, obviously Facebook Messenger,
Twitter,
you can do it on Twitter,
YouTube.
I don't know if you can message us on YouTube. Our email's on our website, peoplesrebuttal.com. We're still working on the website. We've got some things that need to be done, but there is contact information in there, I believe. Obviously, Facebook Messenger, things like that are one of the best ways to get a hold of us. But we would love your topics. David basically sent me and said, "Hey, I'm guessing you guys are going to talk about this day." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to talk about it." I'm not going to tell you the topic because it really didn't matter at this point. But yes, we will talk about it.
I'm so looking forward to it.
So, pilot's license for anybody who's ever thought about it. I'm going to give you, so I have quite a few clients who have planes.
Okay.
And then I have one client who has he has every pilot's license all the way up to a private jet. So he even has his private jet license.
Okay.
And he said there's a few rules to being a pilot.
Okay.
Number one, never own your plane by yourself.
Oh, that makes sense.
He owns 4 planes. He owns a single engine, twin engine turboprop, and a private jet.
Okay.
He's like, because if something goes wrong, it's all on you to fix it.
Yes.
The maintenance programming, because those things have to be maintained after X amount of hours and all those other things.
Yes.
It's never own a plane by yourself. He said, number 2, he said, if you're going to get your pilot's license, never do it in, I think it's Class C or it's either Class A, whichever one's the highest airspace, which is the jets.
Okay.
Never do it in that airspace. And I was like, well, explain that to me.
Yeah, because I'm curious to know.
If you go get your pilot's license in Addison or Arlington or Fort Worth within the deal, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, come on. Is he knocking? He might be knocking, but you can't come in.
He better not be knocking.
He might have his hands full.
Oh,
he got the
with
coat.
Breakfast?
I'm wondering if he got some Sonic in his
hands full with breakfast?
Yeah.
I would stop.
Big fella.
Yes.
Good morning.
Let me hurry up.
Good morning.
I almost stopped.
What up, though?
But never do your pilot's license in it might be Class A. It's been a while since I did ground school. But
and why is that again?
So let's say you're at Addison. His example was he got his do what?
Oh, y'all
Oh,
yeah, we own.
We own, baby.
He got his pilot's license in Addison.
Okay.
And he said, you'll just on the tarmac because you're just a putt plane. You're a single engine putter.
Mm-hmm.
So all the jets that are coming out of DFW, all the planes, commercial planes that are coming out of Love Field, all the private jets that are coming out of Addison,
you gotta wait.
You take a back seat to everybody.
Yes,
everybody. And so then I did some research and found out that DFW has one of the largest Class A airspaces because we encompass Dallas Love Field, we encompass DFW. Does anybody know what the third is? No.
Not Houston.
No. Dallas. Fort Worth has one of the largest Class A airspaces. What's the third place that has a massive in DFW?
AT&T Stadium.
No.
Arlington.
Arlington
Municipal?
No. Arlington actually does, but not because of that airport. Theirs would be Lockheed Martin. Bell Helicopter and Lockheed Martin.
Yes.
But what's the actual third one?
I have no idea.
The JRB out in Fort Worth.
JRB.
That used to be Carswell Air Force Base. But now all...
Is that where Lockheed Martin is out there?
Which is JRB, JRB used to actually be Carswell Air Force Base. And then Lockheed Martin in Arlington used to actually be a naval base. They used to do touch and goes out there.
Okay.
I remember because when I was a kid, I went to the hospital. We went to the naval base in Arlington, But then they ended up sending us to the big hospital at Carswell Air Force Base because I shattered my shoulder in 28 pieces.
28.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So because of those massive airports, we just have a massive. So down here, Midlothian, this airport is right outside of their airspace.
Right outside.
So I don't have to wait for all the jets and all the other things. And so, yeah.
Okay.
There's also been a change to getting your pilot's license. They have VR systems you sit inside the cockpit of this like virtual reality deal.
Okay.
And you can actually get
credit.
I want to say it's 10 or 20 hours of your flight time, which saves
For
you
VR.
gas and all that
Yes,
other
all that.
stuff. And
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I was in a bar at a hotel and a couple pilots came in. One was a female. Great people too. But they told me about that VR thing.
So now you can get part of your license on that. So yeah. But then you got to learn how planes. So like if you buy a plane, like a single engine plane, and it has a max takeoff of, let's say, 3,000 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's minus the plane. So how much does the plane weigh? Well, it weighs 1,750. So now you have what? 1,250?
Yeah, 12.
There it is.
Yeah, you got 1,250. And so, but now how much gas are you going to put in it? How much does that gas weigh? So you have to measure, you have to literally, you literally have to figure out how far am I going, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much gas do I need to get there? And how much does that gas weigh? And how much is how many people are going to be on it? And luggage. I mean, everything.
You mean you talking about all you have left is 1,250 pounds?
And you haven't even calculated your fuel yet.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying outside of the weight of the plane.
Yes.
Correct.
You said 1,750
is the plane.
And 1,250 is what we got left.
Yeah.
So you mean you tell me you put me and Flozell on there? That's it?
Only
We're
two
done.
of my friends. That's it.
But wait a minute.
That's it.
There's no gas now.
No gas.
Yeah.
We ain't got no gas. We just sitting on the tarmac.
Yeah.
So if you go over
So
if you go over 3,000, what happens?
Oh,
what happened to old girl? Who was the
Aaliyah?
Yeah,
Aaliyah.
died. They
It was overweight.
They were overweight.
I mean, but what did it just start to descend, or what? It just couldn't get up.
It can't carry the weight.
Shit, we've been throwing bags off that motherfucker right there.
We've been throwing sack off that motherfucker.
Right.
No.
Hey, Mafia.
I'm like, what?
But I mean, you can buy planes, obviously, that have bigger engines that do more.
Yeah.
And, it's not a matter of that, which if you co-op, then that would be the point, would be the idea would be.
But my thing is, if it got up in the air and it's overweight, if it got up in the air and it's overweight,
you're right. Because
how was the descent fast?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you got up that, I mean, it seems to me that it will be, kind of like creeping out,
Well, a lot of people go overweight on their plane. So one of the things that I did learn is like you can measure your takeoff and the amount of gas that you'll use as part of your takeoff, right? Because you're not even off the ground yet. But as you take off, you're losing that weight. It depends on how you're burning fuel. But yes, you would get a bigger engine that would. So now maybe your max takeoff weight is 6,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Your plane weighs, 2,000, 2,500 pounds. And now you've gained that gap. One of the things is let's say you and I decided we're going to hop on this plane. We're going to go to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not going to take any luggage. We're going to come right back.
Yeah.
Weight distribution, which means now I have to offset you on that side of the plane.
Put all the weight, all the bag.
Put it over on me. No, we're not taking any bags,
No,
but
right.
literally we're going to put counterweights in the plane.
Oh, okay.
Because of
now tell me this, is that left and right side, front and back, or
it's left and right?
Left and right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But I think some planes have the things on the bottom of them
that balances it out.
that you can
So
create.
we're gonna get real backyard and just really come in there with some bricks.
Yeah, well, I got all them weights in there. I don't know if I have enough weights. But I have quite a few.
Right, but that's still like you don't think that somebody would have to do that, It's like we're gonna get real like backyardish. Hey, bring those bricks and them weights.
But there was a social media thing a while back talking about a jet that was taken off in Utah that they had to put sandbags in because there was only one passenger.
Oh
Word.
wow!
Wait. Back up. So
Those planes have a
you
minimum
have
takeoff.
a minimum takeoff.
Those
Okay.
planes have a minimum takeoff.
Gotcha.
We talking about propellers though, right?
So for me,
No, we talking about planes with propellers.
that plane, that was a jet.
Really?
It was a 7. It was a small, 2 seats on each side plane.
Yeah.
But they had to pile sandbags on because there is a
Mm.
minimum takeoff weight for some of those jets.
Okay. And you still, after this conversation, not interested in skydiving?
Mm-mm.
I'm even
At
more,
all.
I'm gonna fly.
I'm even more interested now.
I want to fly.
I've had 2 friends that this past month that checked it off their list.
Say word.
Yeah, I'd have shitted everywhere.
Yeah, I'm with
There'd
that.
have been shit coming behind me.
I'm with that.
Throwing up. It would have been a dead body coming down there. I imagine that those chutes have a weight limit on them. I would imagine they don't have a weight limit.
Yeah, remember they drop equipment, cars
yeah.
and Jeeps
all
and
that.
everything else.
Yeah.
They have
Okay.
parachutes that are big enough.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
no doubt.
Shit.
But if I got my license, would you fly?
What?
He said, what?
Ask me that question again. You like let you fly me?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
Like,
If you
hey,
had
let's
your
go to
license?
New Orleans. Let's go.
Yeah, if you had your license. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
45
mean,
minutes.
I'm sure
Hour
you ain't
15.
ready. I'm sure you're not ready to leave, are you?
I'm not ready to die.
Yeah, I'm sure as long as you're not ready to leave, we're good.
But
Yeah.
actually, David, I had you and Kim in mind because that would be, I mean, it's a drive for me now. It's what, eight hours to get to Tennessee where y'all live? I mean, now we're talking 45 minutes an hour. Because you got to remember,
Max.
that's yes for me as well.
Yeah,
But you,
no
you got to
doubt.
think about that. It's like when you get in a plane, you start to get on the plane, you start to get on the tarmac, you do all that. It's about an hour. And come to find out, Zachary's friend's a pilot. He actually went to a college. When you go to like these small little airports, a lot of times they have like cars there, and you're renting the hangar. Or
Oh,
you're
oh,
basically
yeah.
it's a parking fee for your plane,
No
but
doubt.
they give you access to this car.
Yeah, no doubt. Super
Oh, that
cool.
was pretty cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we can get a couple co-op cars too.
Well, there's a neighborhood in Oak Villa.
Yeah, they get the
That
airport.
has-
They got
Yeah, their house is back. It's like a golf course, but instead of backing up to the one hole, you're backed up. You have a hangar,
Yeah.
and there's air. I think there's
Yeah.
two.
They got an
There's
airstrip.
two
of it.
sets of airstrips.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
pretty
down
cool.
the street. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That is super cool.
Yep, and all their stuff is digital takeoff.
No, digital.
It is. What are they called? They're called.
So no
You
people
got no
in the
flight
sky?
control.
It's an automated deal.
Okay.
Basically, you're reporting to it. And
okay.
then it because most people don't know when you're flying a single engine turbo, twin engine, as long as it's not a jet and you're getting, what you're staying within your class airspace,
Mhm.
there is no air traffic control, which was funny because when I was doing ground school, they're like, you have to look around. I'm like, I'm sorry. What the fuck you just say? Did you just say, is it like a car? Like I'm changing lanes? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
but supposedly you get on the radio, or you send out a ping that constantly is like, don't run into my ass, which you got to remember, you're in the air. I mean, who's going to be the exact same altitude, the exact same whatever, but shit happens.
Yeah, but think about it. I just thought about this. The autonomous cars,
Mhm.
driving themselves and things of that nature. It's just the same technology, if I'm not mistaken.
Autopilot?
No, the technology that the digital air traffic control deal.
Right. But it's a matter of people spending the money to put that inside of.
So let me go back.
Their
I know I missed something. I'm
Ah.
sure I missed something. So you telling me at each height that you go, you call that class? Is that what
A,
you
B,
said?
and C? There's A, B, and C class airspace.
Class airspace? And so
Right.
A is the lowest,
I don't remember. I think A is either the highest or the lowest.
right?
It may be A.
There you go. Googly.
I should have just went on and answered the question myself. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting though.
Class A airspace.
Yeah, I thought y'all. So how did we get on the subject anyway?
Because I was talking
I'm gonna
about
get my pilot's license.
Are you?
I'm gonna skydive.
Whose plane you gonna fly?
We're
The
gonna
co-op.
co-op one.
Who's gonna co-op her?
We're gonna co-op.
Really? So
Of
y'all gonna
course.
be like, what was it, tattoo?
So class A is the highest. Class B, class C, class D.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's by whatever. But class A is for private. It's for jets.
Y'all two flying gonna look like.
And then
y'all
they
on
have, because I
Snowfall.
took that ground school. I learned how to read those maps.
Mhm.
And you got to pay attention because the military has their own jet deal where they fly low. And there's actually one in Fort fucking Worth.
I see them all the time.
No. It's like it's on a map. So if you go west of Fort Worth, there's like a straight line in the airspace map
Okay.
that is for them from ground to ceiling. It belongs to them. Missile test, jet testing, all that stuff happens in that line. I mean, it's huge. It's not like it's a 1-lane highway.
No
I mean,
doubt,
it's
no doubt.
massive, so they can turn around and do whatever they got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that woo, getting that sucker and you're just sitting there.
Man, I know. Hey, Dave, let's go. Let's go. We could start at iFly. I have a couple free coupons as well.
Yes, that is a no-fly zone. You stay the hell out of the jet flight areas. They got tons of them in Utah, Nevada, and desert areas. But
Okay.
which I'm assuming is why they use the desert one.
Okay.
But yes, I mean, I'd love to have my pilot's license.
Oh man. Oh man.
So, all right. So we're gonna talk a little bit of football.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
terrific.
kick off with Deshaun Watson.
Boom. The kickoff.
6 games.
Well,
6 games. Yeah.
what you looking at me for?
I mean, we were waiting for you on that one.
Oh, well, I just have a hard time. I have a hard time with balancing, with our justice system. If the man is not guilty,
Horseshit.
and whether he guilty or not, and they they say he's not guilty, what the fuck are we punishing him for?
So
That's what I have a hard time with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now you telling me we got to go to somewhere else, and because somebody in their feelings and they don't like what the verdict is, he still has to get suspended for that.
I'm gonna give you my example. We know OJ killed that woman.
No, we don't know
I
that.
don't know.
No,
that.
we do not.
I don't know.
No,
that.
we do not.
To me, this is how I view it.
But that's a feeling, though.
No. But this is how I view it. Mr. Simpson, we find you not guilty, but we're going to give you 6 years in prison. It doesn't matter.
What the fuck was that for?
That's what they did.
For?
But that's what they did
Yeah,
to
but why
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, okay.
They
You saying,
basically
you could make a
said,
comparison. Okay.
Right. We find you not guilty, but we're going to give you 6 years in prison.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
You
get
found
it.
me not guilty. You're saying I did absolutely nothing wrong, but
Yeah.
you're going to make me spend 6 games, 6 years,
Same.
But just
A
give
lady-
me an example. It's fucking 6 days. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, we know you didn't do it, but we're going to go ahead and give you some. We're going to go ahead and get you for it.
But what is that saying? What is that telling? What is that telling us as people, in society? What is
The
that telling?
justice system is
That I can accuse anybody of anything and get away with it. And they
You
in
can get
trouble
away.
for
You
it.
can get away with accusing people. And I'm not saying they're not telling the truth. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like if he was ruled not guilty in I don't know if it was the highest court.
in a court of law.
In a court of law, who are you to say because you felt like these women were telling the truth, or men, or whoever, who are you to say that this man is guilty? And with all the coverage yesterday, it was a lady that got on that says a non-guilty. I think she said being not guilty in court does not exonerate you from the actual act. And I was like, it don't convict you either. It don't convict you either. He's not a convicted person.
Well, the great thing is you go back to the OJ. He won the trial, but lost the civil suit.
Civil.
Which absolutely makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
At all.
It's like, oh, well, we didn't get you that way, but we're gonna fucking get you this
the
way.
U.S. justice system.
But that just lets you know they do things to please people.
Who are they pleasing?
They're
not pleasing every woman out there who actually had something happen to her doesn't agree. I have had conversations with women who are like, who literally get pissed off, who are like, that's some bullshit. Your pretty ass went out there, sucked some dick, and now you're trying to get some money.
Hey, wait a minute. Is Mom on here today?
Oh, Mama grown shit.
Okay. Well, your son said it.
You don't want if you got sensitive ears.
Apologize.
You got sensitive. You should not. I'm not saying your mama does. I mean, I said
said
all kinds of
Mama
stuff.
Just put it on mute and watch it. We need.
Doesn't it have whatchamacallit?
Talking about some type of filter or something?
No. It
Caption?
has the captions. Yeah, just turn the audio because I don't know what. When I say fuck, I don't know what the captions say.
Hopefully, there's a delay.
Does it really?
No, I don't know.
I wonder what it's. I doubt Facebook is giving you.
You need to check that out, listeners. Let us know what the captains do.
It ain't just you, because I be going off in there too. So,
but I mean, you can't be found not guilty, and I get. Like Mafio said before, once you get through 3 or 4 or 5 of them, there comes something like, man, there's got to be something going on. But it's still the accusation and the idea do not make you guilty. There have been people who have been found guilty that are not guilty. There are people that have been found not guilty that are guilty. But you can't punish them the same. Right? Because that's what you're doing. It's basically walking into court and I'm in a lose-lose fucking situation here.
You said it best. You're found not guilty, but you're going to be charged 6 years in jail. Right. Come on, man. Like, wait a minute. I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
Especially as much money as that motherfucker made. That's like 20 years in jail for me.
Come on, man. But big shout out to his agent, though. Like, I read up on how they structured his deal, anticipating this first year and something happening, where his salary for the first year is $1 million. So if he was to get suspended the whole year, they lose $1 million.
Well, he wouldn't have left. He wouldn't have left Houston. He would, because remember, he was stuck in a guarantee. He's got a guaranteed contract. So, and there wasn't, if he's not found guilty, although you could say, well, we're not going to pay you because of the accusation, which my understanding is he can appeal this. And that he could appeal the decision.
The NFL.
The NFL can appeal it.
The NFL.
Who suspended him the games then? I thought the NFL
did. Well, not well. The court that they put in charge of it, because I believe that the NFLPA and the NFL both agreed to have this lady that have her preside over it. And so whatever she decided, whatever she decided is what they went with. And so the NFL now has 3 days to appeal it. But if and so that was the debate yesterday. If they do appeal it, are they appealing for more time, like 8 games as opposed to 6? And now it becomes an issue of, why the hell are you appealing it? Are you doing it to please people, please, feelings of people? Because you're going to have people that vote here. That's what I'm saying. Well, you got to look at it. The NFL is trying to, one, they're going to always try to protect the shield, and then 2, they want to increase their fan base, their female fan base, and so. I'm thinking that they want to show support, in every type of way, not just in a breast cancer way, but and so show support in this big case. But I just don't know. Even if that says we going above and beyond, I'm like, I just don't know how you give a person some extra time or give them time at all when they're not guilty.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Well, because he was already pretty much sitting out in Texas, right?
Well, I think
He's been in camp. He's been in
No, last year, because he didn't play last year, did he?
No, he didn't because of court. He was
Well,
caught
there
up.
you go. They don't retro.
Yeah, I mean, he already missed the whole season, pretty much.
There you go.
so like a time served type deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already missed those.
We're going to
games.
sentence you to 17-game suspension. Already served. I'd have taken that one. I'd have taken that one all day long. You didn't play all last year. We're going to give you. Even more stupid part is Zeke got suspended 6 games for domestic violence accusation, and Watson got 6 games for supposedly sexually assaulting 20 women. Those weren't even close to the same.
Not at all. I totally agree, David. I totally agree.
But Zeke's was from fucking college.
Regardless.
Isn't that right? Wasn't Zeke's stuff from college?
It had to be.
No. What's
Yeah.
that?
Zeke's stuff was from college.
Zeke got suspended?
Yeah.
I don't even remember him.
David, that was I remember him getting suspended. I think that was his rookie year. He was never charged, but didn't it happen in Ohio? That was when he was at Ohio State, right? It was in 2016.
It was some of that, but I thought it was something more recent that they brought that back up.
No. After it came out, they had when he was out here
on the balcony
in Dallas, but and grabbed that girl's boob, but nothing ever happened with that. He never got in trouble for that.
So maybe I'm crossing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was right after the accusation came out, which is like, oh, look, here's Zeke. But remember, we were sitting with Zeke right after the whole Vegas thing.
I do remember that.
I mean, you never would have saw it. You never would have thought that guy sitting right there in front of us was. I think that situation. The other thing we have to remember is these things are videoed in the after effect.
Right.
Not in the pre. So what led up to what happened in Vegas? Right. But they don't, because nobody's really going to start recording until something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's saying Zeke had the right to push the guy. I probably would have done worse, but whatever. But what happened before that? What led to that? What were the earlier interactions? We take things completely out of context. You and I I think we talked about on the show the deal that happened up in Allen where the guy was videoing the cop and the cop, was tackling him to the ground and they both of them, but it looked like the cop completely started it, right?
Is that the kid?
Yeah, he pulled him over.
And then his dad?
No. It was just a kid.
Okay, just a kid.
And then they're sitting there fighting on the ground. What they didn't show, what the guy didn't record, and bravo to the police department who waited until they completed their investigation before they released it. They released the body cam footage. Asked the guy to step out of the vehicle, sit in the back of the vehicle. Guy had warrants, told him to turn around, put his hands behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
Guy turned around, put his hands behind his back. As soon as the cop touched him, dude whipped around and started punching the cop. And the cop beat his ass to the ground. But again, out of context, now most of the time the out of context is in the reverse of that situation. But we're going to go with this situation. But it is about the context of, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was shot a while back, again, there was a better way, in my opinion, to do it. But sitting there arguing and fighting with the cop, and then he ends up getting shot.
The one in the back of the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there was no reason, don't get me wrong. If you're chasing down and this dude just murdered somebody and he's covered in blood, y'all have at it. Y'all do what y'all got to do to get this guy. Don't shoot him in the back of the fucking head. But y'all do what you. But when it comes to, oh, well, I don't have my driver's license on me. You give me a name, you ran, he doesn't have any warrants. And he starts running off. You got the motherfucker's car. Let the man go. Do what you can to subdue. But if he ends up getting away, let him fucking get away. What states, isn't it California, that if you run from the police department, they did the thing now where just let him go because it's not worth the damage that you're going to cause to arrest him. There are a few states that don't chase.
Is that in vehicles or is that
in vehicles?
In vehicles,
yeah,
not person.
Correct. But in vehicles, because
vehicles,
if they get on a highway,
yes.
if they get,
yes.
if it's something, and if the pursuing police officer feels that it's not big enough, there's not a child in the car, it's not a kidnapping thing, maybe it's somebody who stole a car. It is, and it's because of crashes. Not only just the crash of the person they're chasing, but the cop crashing, somebody crashing into the cop.
Civilians,
yeah, I mean that's the whole deal.
Yeah.
So I thought and I kind of feel the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're chasing a murder, man, y'all need to chase that motherfucker down because you don't know what he's going to do next. The drunk dude that was in the car at Wendy's, I get that you fought with him. He ran off with your taser. Again, he did fire the taser at the police officer. So he was, you can see it in the video. You can see it in the video. There's the whole, what is it? Whataburger Burger King. You see in the video, and you see it discharge.
Oh, okay.
You see the tip of it discharge, and then they shot him. But you could at that point kind of like ducked and covered. Let the motherfucker. It's drunk driving. You have his driver's license. You have everything about this dude. But it does pose this question: what if he leaves there and does something, breaks into somebody's house, and ends up being a bigger? Then who we gonna blame? Is it the cop's fault?
Well, hell, we ain't
for
gonna
letting him
go. Well, hell, we don't know.
And
we ain't gonna never find out.
But it's, to me, we're hearing the after effect, not the true cause.
Right.
And a lot of these guys, like Zeke and that thing in Vegas, you're seeing the after. You're not seeing what led up to it.
Yeah, we don't know.
Too many cases of that. Way too many cases.
What?
Selective hearing in that, but it's selected videoing.
Yeah, they're just gonna show the parts that we want to control the crowd.
Do y'all remember the thing that happened with the Make America Great hat? The kid that was in. Did y'all ever see that?
What's that?
So there was this group of kids from a Catholic school that were in DC doing, whatever their deal, and basically what ends up happening is. So the original video on Twitter was this kid and this Indian, Native American, standing in front of him beating the drum. And it looked like these kids were like threatening this guy, right? Well, come to find out that CNN and all these other people had edited the video and taken out the previous part, right? This kid won millions of dollars, by the way. Okay. This tells you how much bullshit it is. So come to find out what had happened was, I guess there is a black fundamental Jew religion, and they were yelling at these white kids, and these Native Americans were in DC at the time trying to, bring something up, like something that was going on. And as they were walking, they got in between the two of them, which they were 20 feet apart. And the Native American actually got in his face, basically, calm, trying to create, this is just a calm, just ignoring. Okay. Wasn't saying anything, but that was the whole point of it. And so this kid got, plastered all over social media, death threats, the whole 9 yards, saying that, they had confronted this Native American and all these other things. And then come to find out, it's not what happened. Of course. What is his name?
Geronimo.
No, not the Indian. And man, the messed up part was that Indian dude. That was messed up. Let's see. Catholic. Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Oh, wow.
How you spell Catholic?
C-A-T-H. C-A-T-H. Was it O? L-I-C?
So it's Catholic.
The fuck did you spell the first time?
Choctaw.
They spelled chocolate.
Choctaw.
Yep, there it is. Nicholas Sandman. So let's see. Command C.
Look at that's that fucking smirk for me.
The smirk.
That's the smirk where you want to slap the shit out of them.
But it wasn't. He wasn't. If let's say your
you could
son,
take that picture and you could take that picture
But
and
that's
put
what
it with
they
a
did.
different narrative, and now you've created something that wasn't even there.
Perception is a mother.
Is a motherfucker.
Is a
man.
mother.
he's worth around $1 million,
Why? Because he sued somebody?
and he still has a ton of lawsuits pending.
He
everybody.
sued the
CNN, CNBC. No, because they all lied.
Of course.
Yeah.
19 years old.
Okay.
He sued all of it, and he won.
He did, 'cause they
Apparently,
lied.
apparently he won one of them.
As he should.
So who did he win
set-
his money against?
He settled for one. So what
Who
was
did he
it? Friends were
settle?
waiting for their buzz so they could get back to their homes when they claim a group of Black Hebrew students began disturbing them, which they actually have on video. They began to scream school spirit chants and began to taunt Sandman and his friends. Sandman was wearing a Make America Great cap. One individual who had to be a war veteran, Nathan Phillips, began walking towards them, defending the former group of Black Hebrew students. In the video, Nathan seemed an encounter with Sandman where he stands close to Nathan and stares at him. That's a dude. The video went viral immediately after the incident. Various news agencies started portraying him as someone aggressive. Sandman filed a defamation suit against the news agency while CNN suit was settled in off-court settlement. There are no details about the amount at which both parties settled. Disputed 2020. 16-year-old. So but he didn't drop the suit. I think he settled one to get a little bit of money, but he's gone after everybody else. So they came to him. He didn't go to them. They came to him, which is crazy. But again, everybody chose. They edited it though, so that was the one thing. CNN, CNBC, they all edited their videos or didn't get the whole story. I don't remember what the deal was, but that is the end. It was Sandman David. So that is the point to where I think you should get in trouble for,
falsifying information.
Yeah. And how do you get news agencies? You take their money.
Shit. I
all
didn't
you
know you
can
could
do.
even do that.
I
didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah,
But,
defamation.
yeah, because they just reporting some bullshit. And they know better than that and pushing that propaganda stuff.
As usual.
Well, and as usual.
But I had always thought, because they did a breakdown on this specifically, and I forget what it was. It's something outrageous. Like they spent 56 hours talking about this kid, talking about how he had, done all these things. He was a horrible and blah, 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 blah. I personally believe if I was suing them, I'd be like, well, first of all, you're going to do this. You're going to pay me X amount of dollars. But the most important thing you're going to do is you're going to spend 56 hours talking about what really happened and what went wrong in your reporting. I mean, think about it. I think they should be required to do it.
But just think outside of that case, how much of that goes on
all day, every day.
How much
never
propaganda
found out.
That's never found out, and we push these bullshit ass stories trying to push an agenda, and create division among the people, and a lot of it goes undisciplined. That's the first I've ever heard of a lawsuit going towards the news station.
Yeah.
But
I think that's textbook reporting, man. You know what I'm saying? They turn and flip and manipulate.
They do that shit a lot, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But we flip that. It's also been the same thing. These cops out there just shooting people and killing people at random.
Yeah.
And we have to come up with the proof that says that that's not true.
Yeah.
We have to be the ones. Deshaun Watson, I have to prove I'm not guilty. Now I'm not guilty. I'm still getting in trouble. Yeah, I imagine Rittenhouse is suing quite a few people.
And the only reason, I just didn't understand what fool gonna chase somebody with a rifle.
What do you mean?
Wasn't that Rittenhouse, the little boy that shot?
Why he chased him and Rittenhouse had a rifle?
Yeah, the dude with the skateboard
because he thought he was. Well, the kid with the skateboard was a different deal. He blindsided him because he came up from behind him.
Yeah, but I'm still saying, who runs to somebody with a weapon?
The first guy he shot because I think he thought he wouldn't do it.
Shit.
I
better-
mean, really, because the majority of people who carry guns aren't going to do anything with it.
Shit, you got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
So Zach made an incredible point with this story when we talked about it. The kid crossed the state line with the rifle. Like, what's the point? What was the point?
What do you mean?
What was the point of him going there with a rifle?
Well,
Anyway,
and again, we this is because I said this when we talked about Rittenhouse. It would be like living in it'd be like living in Kansas City, right? And one's in Kansas and the other one's in Missouri, but it's all Kansas City.
yes.
Or St. Louis.
No,
It's
it's
St.
Kansas
Louis.
City.
But St. Louis is the same way. Remember that's where
Part
he
of it's in
lived.
Chicago, right? I mean, Illinois.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
remember, that's where he lived. He lived in a place, he lived in Illinois, but worked in Wisconsin. So it wasn't like he was driving 100 miles to get to this place. He was literally, his dad lived in that city. His mom lived in the other one. So when I first read it, I thought, well, this motherfucker's driving, even if you're driving 30 minutes with a gun, come on now, man. But if you're literally, you leave your house and 5 seconds later, it's like me going to Dallas. Yeah, I live where I live, but I drive 15, 20 minutes to go to Dallas constantly.
With
And
a
that's
rifle.
what he did. But that's what he did. And again, I think I told you, he wasn't guilty. He wasn't guilty of murder, but he was guilty of, well, it was a felony.
Crossing the state line.
No.
Or
It
something
was
like that with the rifle.
It was causing, it's possession of the gun that causes the situation. That's what it was. And I forget what it was, but because I looked it up. You're right. The rifle was already in that state at his friend's. Correct. Remember, the friend lived in that city and had his rifle. Right. But that's not the part. What mattered was Wisconsin has a law that says that if you intentionally possess a weapon that I forget what it is, but it increases something, like you didn't have to be there. It wasn't your responsibility to defend those places. But he could have been charged with that. It wasn't a big time felony.
Yeah.
But at least you would have, he obviously, and I know David's a big, a gun person, but there has to be like, you have to learn some sort of fucking lesson. What did this kid learn? It wasn't a very good one. I can carry a gun and
Do it.
if somebody, well, let's not do whatever. I mean, the first guy was chasing him. The second guy hit him with the skateboard, and the third guy pulled a gun on him.
And he killed the guy with the skateboard and the guy with the gun.
Yes. Because the guy with the skateboard was coming back.
Right. I mean, they assaulted him.
Right.
That is fucking assault. At the end of the day,
I mean, all three of them
shot anybody. You just
all three of them were completely justifiable. The first guy was running at him. He had already grabbed the strap. They had it in the film. Had already grabbed the strap to the rifle. Was chasing him. He shot him. He told him to stop. Pointed the gun at him. Told him to stop. Guy didn't stop. Second guy was the guy with skateboard. He was coming back for a second swing. He had already knocked him down once. Third guy pulled his gun and he shot him. So by the definition of self-defense, he's got it. Point was why are you fucking there in the first place with that weapon? You know what's happening. You have zero legal right to defend those places.
Right.
That's what they should have gotten.
They had to chase his ass.
Right.
But he still should be. So you saying you saying that he did get charged with something?
No.
He got found. See, he got found not guilty. Yeah, he got charged with murder.
Well, no,
he didn't. No, he didn't.
No,
you look that up. I don't think he got charged with anything.
Yeah, he did. He had a huge trial, man. I watched all the trial.
And got found not guilty.
Yeah, but
correct, but he got charged.
Charged is one thing. Charged.
He went to court. What the fuck are you talking about? He went to court. He had a jury
What is
find him not
charged?
guilty.
got
Yeah, but what is charge?
dismissed.
I think
They were
yeah,
all
but you
dismissed. He was
saying
found
but
not
you
guilty.
saying charge mean he just got accused or something.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
accused. He
No.
got charged with murder.
No,
but
I'm thinking
He
wasn't
went to
convicted.
court and went through trial.
Yes, charged, not convicted.
y'all both saying the same thing.
No,
Y'all both are saying
Yes.
you saying a charge. You saying charge is like him getting convicted.
no charge is like a police coming to your house and you're being charged with a crime.
That's
He
what I'm
was
saying.
charged
He
with
got
a crime.
charged.
That's charged.
Yeah,
Being convicted is totally different.
right.
Of course,
So-
it's different. He
but
got
he
found
wasn't-
not guilty. Therefore,
not
not guilty,
guilty.
means
Not convicted.
but he was not guilty of murder. The problem
y'all-
was they
Murder. Yeah,
charged
what they
him
charged
with the
him with.
wrong.
Yeah.
yeah,
They
y'all
charged him
both
with
y'all
the wrong-
both are saying the same thing.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
My point is, they overcharged. They should have
Uh-oh.
said, "Look, we can see that these three things are self-defense,
But
he shouldn't have been there. He had no right to defend that property. Let's try." The funny thing is, you can always find him guilty of that and then see if you can't find him guilty of murder and recharge him for murder. But instead, they shot for the fences in order to appease these rioters and ended up losing the damn trial. Now, if you try to go backwards, it looks like you're being vindictive.
Oh well. Motherfuckers do it all the time.
Yeah, they didn't charge him with the small stuff. They went
Yes.
for the murder charge.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, though, is even the small charge was a felony.
of course.
Shit. Apparently they didn't know motherfuckers was chasing them with a skateboard.
No, they knew from the video.
Oh, they knew all
Yeah,
that.
so I mean, so they didn't think that was gonna be they're gonna have a chance of having he's gonna be able to defend himself in
So
court, saying
so-
that he was defending himself from assault.
Remember, the prosecutor actually changed their prosecutorial deal three
Position.
times. So you start with the first one. There was they didn't have a video of him being chased in that parking lot,
Okay.
but somehow somebody with the drone was actually filming it. Offered it to the police department. The police department never got back to him. The defense went to him and said, let me
me
see
get
your
that."
video. Come to find out, it was this 4K drone footage where you see this dude attack Kyle Rittenhouse, try to get his gun, run away from him, run to the other side of the car. You see the crowd on the other side, which means he would have been running through a crowd. So he comes to a stop, turns around, doesn't shoot. The guy starts running at him. He shoots. So then they changed their defense was, well, he shouldn't have been there. He had no legal right to be there. Therefore, it's murder. Oh, okay. But that's not murder if he's chasing. The dude with it's not funny. Oh, the guy with the gun didn't die. I forgot that. It was only the other. But
Well, he
the
killed two
crazy
people.
part, yeah, he killed the dude with the skateboard and the first guy. On the stand, the guy who pulled the gun, the defense asked him, did you pull your gun before he shot you? And the guy said, yes. As a defense lawyer, I probably would have said, we need this dismissed without prejudice. Without prejudice. Because that makes it to where you can go back and okay, let's rethink. But instead, they were like, oh, well, he shouldn't have been there. Okay, we get it. He shouldn't have been there. Do you want to charge him with shouldn't have been there? Because I'm all for it. Shouldn't have been there with the gun, didn't have a right to do it. Felony, whatever it is that is in Wisconsin. Because you and I talked about it, and I
remember.
found the law.
I remember.
That's what he should have been charged with.
I agree. But
So what were the races of the people he shot?
First dude was white. The dude with the gun was white. The last dude was black.
With
The
the skateboard?
Yeah.
He was really white. He had a skateboard. Yeah. Well, like
hold up, man. I rode a skateboard. as a
I
kid.
did too, but I don't know, man. These guys are different now. It's like who chases? I don't give a
Hey,
fuck if it
dude.
was a pop gun. You wouldn't see me chasing a motherfucker with an AR-15. It was like, what are you like? So at that point, fuck why what the fuck is he doing it? What the fuck are you doing? And like, what's your point now? You know, so now you taking justice in your own hands too. You know, at some point it comes down to decisions and choices we make. He know there was a 50-50
Everything.
chance of him getting his ass popped with that motherfucking AR-15. What are the chances of that motherfucker being fully fucking loaded?
Well, you know,
That's what would have went through my mind.
the first guy had just gotten out of the loony bin for trying to commit suicide. He tried to commit suicide like 3 or 4 times.
The guy he shot,
The first one.
so it was assisted suicide.
It
I
looks like it.
Hey,
No, they do
say,
it.
man. I mean, it's
Suicide by
possible.
police, suicide by
Yeah.
some dumb white kid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he had just gotten out either that day or the day, I forget, but he had just gotten out.
Wow.
It's amazing what you learn. And that's the thing is, again, the reason we're having this is because they don't give you the whole story. The
No.
Deshaun Watson thing, you know, perception, which we're going to do a podcast on,
Oh man!
but
I
it's
can't
about
wait.
not giving you the whole story.
Right.
And you know, we're not getting it. You're just kind of doing what you want off of a piece of whatever the fuck you know, flip a coin. What we're going to do?
They give their
It
narrative.
doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. But
You know,
the
so
news
it's
always
all-
give their narrative, their perspective.
We're
Right.
not though. We're gonna give you. We're gonna find. Mafio leans on me because he knows if I see a subject, I'm gonna just like flying a plane. I'm gonna find out everything there is to know. I know what watch to buy. I know which little GPS, but do the Garmin, not the ForeFlight. I'm a researchaholic because I'm not gonna let something come out of my mouth that I'm not 100% sure, or I will be like, you know, I found this on this. I haven't gone any further, but yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna try to do some of that some of the times. But all right, guys, we're close enough. I got business to do.
Well, what about this? Is one more thing. What about these new contracts, real quick?
New contract.
Like who?
Zion Williamson. He has a weight clause in his contract.
Wow, kind of like a video game clause. For
Did we
what's
talk
his
about
name?
Kyler Murray?
Not
Yeah,
the
last
studying.
time?
I was about
Okay.
to say not the
Okay,
studying.
that's
clause
just crazy.
that they
man.
rescinded.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Come
But
on,
it
man.
does make sense though.
Yeah.
But
To
wait
who?
a minute, y'all
To who?
had Big Feller had a weight contract or a
A
weight
clause
Yeah.
in there? Oh.
because he had he said it was Bill Parcells was always screaming at him.
Yeah. I
about
don't know if
his
it's a
weight.
clause. You just have a weight that you have.
He got fined, I think.
Yeah, but you just have a weight that they want you to be at, and if you're not there, you get fined.
So team
There's
imposed.
nothing in the contract like
Not
they got,
contractual.
actually got Zion Williamson's contract actually says if he's not at a certain weight, you know, blah blah blah. They able to take back money. He got to pay back money. That's what
Pay
they-
back or they just don't pay him.
I thought it said payback. Look, it said we'll take away money.
Yeah, they take because they'll take it out of future earnings.
That motherfucker was listed at 285. That's a defense.
Woo!
He's bigger than a lot of defensive ends.
Speaking of big guys playing basketball,
Yeah.
big fella, you play basketball?
Did you see
Yeah.
that 3
Down
pointer?
at Alcorn?
See that 3-pointer?
That was you, dog.
Yeah, that wasn't no 3-pointer though.
Hey man, come on,
that
man.
wasn't no 3-pointer. Yeah, I played.
Would you have your pinky toe over the line or something?
No, I wasn't nowhere close to it. I was in front of that 3-point line.
Hey man, that was
Yeah.
you hanging all over the rim doing reverse layups.
Nah, not hanging on the rim.
You must have been watching Jordan or something.
Yeah,
you
watching
got
the
things
wrong
confused.
Video. You
Oh,
watching
okay.
the wrong video.
Hey, what do you think about all this stuff? I keep seeing them. It's like nonstop. Jordan, LeBron,
What I
amount of
thought-
years that they played and their accomplishments.
It's like comparing apple juice and orange juice.
And they played at different times. I think anytime you comparing players that are from different eras, it's gonna be tough because I just feel like the guys who came before, no matter whether you're talking about football or basketball, they had to deal with a different element, which is the physical element. I think anytime you add that physical element in there, it's just gonna take away from a lot of stuff, you know.
Well, I thought it was funny. I read a thing and it was a quote from Jordan that said, you know, could your blah, blah, blah beat, you know, LeBron's? And he said, yeah. And he said, by how many points? He said 3. The news guy said, well, why only 3? He goes, I'm over 60 years old.
Why they just can't be great, man? You know what
They
I'm
are
saying?
great. They're
I'm
great in
saying-
their own era.
But I'm saying, why all the competition and comparison and like?
Well,
I mean,
when
I
you start
get it,
using
but,
those words, though, when you use the words great,
but I'm saying, why they just can't be great? They great.
Because I
Yeah,
think it's
but-
the
They're great at
idea
what they do,
of
man.
people who pump themselves up to be, we're in a completely different marketing era in time.
I agree.
Marketing is now, it's like being president. We were talking about it. I couldn't be president. I'm not enough of a narcissist to be president. These guys get up there, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did. You didn't do that. There are a ton of people who work behind the scenes to make these things happen. You're not up there going,
Oligarchs.
no. I'm talking about that doesn't make any fucking sense. Oligarchs have nothing to do with military. I'm talking about General so-and-so decided to, the matter of fact, we just killed the number one for Al Qaeda yesterday. He didn't do it, but my administration, me. Look what I did. Look what I did. You didn't do that. With the CIA, the military, and this is the accomplishment that they made. I'm so happy. It was a directive I gave, but all the credit goes to them. Instead, it's look at me. Look at me.
yeah,
Noise the shit out of me. But that's what happens with LeBron. It is a marketing ploy
Wow.
to move himself forward. And the backlash is obviously, but you think you're the greatest of all time, but what about this? He's kind of walked himself into that.
As an athlete, as anybody with a skill or a craft, who wouldn't think they're the best?
The people who aren't the best.
Okay, but people that has shown themselves to be great. I mean, and I'm not talking top tier. You know what I'm saying? But it's a personality, it's a mindset when you're competing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the smallest thing on the field my whole life, but I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was untouchable. Couldn't nobody touch me.
So nobody touched you when you played football?
Of course they did.
Okay.
But
that's
in
my point.
in my mind, could nobody touch me?
I think at some point, reality hits. It does. It's just some shit that you can't do and some stuff that you can. You can be great at what you're great at, but I think when you get a chance to be around, athletes that are at another level and playing at a higher level, and they have better physical gifts. And, most of the time it does depend on whether or not what type of coaching you have to put you in the right situation to maximize your skill set. You do kind of, come to some realization like, well, maybe I ain't,
I ain't all that.
yeah.
And it's not a matter of saying that you're great. Hey, you have a player that's like, you take CeeDee Lamb. I don't think he's ever said it, so I'm not quoting anything that CeeDee Lamb said, but he goes out there, I'm one of the best receivers on the field, but that's a general statement. I'm one of the best receivers on the field. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it everything I've got. That's a general statement about who you are, not I got it all, because you're not really doing anything.
Who says they have it all? I'm just throwing one person out there. Just
LeBron. But my point to this is LeBron. He set himself up for this comparison.
In his era.
No.
And his
when you do the marketing type of stuff that he does, you were setting yourself up for the criticism of, are you really the greatest? And that is why
he called himself the greatest too.
Right. That's my point. I'm trying to say it without saying it.
Say it.
But he has put himself out there that I'm the greatest that ever played.
As he should.
And he's not.
I agree.
The proof is in the pudding.
I agree. But why not have self-confidence?
Is that the Seattle guy?
I don't think it's.
Yeah, well, you had a couple of contract extensions the last couple of days, and DK Metcalf, 3 years, $72 million, 58 guaranteed, $30 million signing bonus. Then you got Deebo Samuel. That had a $71.5 million extension with I think it was $41 million for the guaranteed.
These motherfuckers.
He deserves
wow.
it. He deserves it.
Wow.
He
10
deserves
more years, Vaughn. 10 more
I
years.
told
You'd
you,
have had it.
He should have declared himself as a quarterback that got the quarterback money
Oh,
because
my
he do
God.
all that shit anyway.
He do everything,
do
but what
everything.
they broke down.
All right, guys, we're over.
From analytics, they
We
broke,
over.
We're
they
over.
broke
Yeah,
down.
we're over.
They broke down
Man.
his usage. You know.
That's why, because they ain't want to give him that bag.
We gonna keep talking, but y'all, we'll see y'all later.
All right, and thank you all for joining us for another amazing episode of Keeping It Real Podcast. We love it. Thank you.